Yo, what is up, you guys? We have another One Piece discussion lined up for today. Today, we're going to be discussing the end of One Piece and what we might expect. I found a cool Reddit thread right here, and I was like, yo, let's talk about it. I don't think I made a video talking about what I think is going to happen, so let's just give it a go. So, the title says, One Piece's ending scares me. I've never finished mini manga-anime, but one that I finished was Attack on Titan. Rest in peace. I love that show. Like the world, the lore, the theories, it made me feel like what I felt when I was reading One Piece. But then came the ending. I couldn't even process the last few chapters, how the author threw away years of character building and everything shocked me. Ever since then, I've been thinking about One Piece's ending. Oda is an amazing writer, which is what I thought about Attack on Titan's writer too. And look at what happened, which is why I am f***ing scared. I've been reading One Piece for 9 years and I hope it ends well. And I hope I'm alive. I like how this is the main concern. Whenever somebody talks about the end of One Piece, they're like, yo, I hope I'm just alive, man. Like, I hope it's not still going by the time I fucking die. I don't care if it takes Oda 100 more chapters to wrap up and answer the questions that haven't been answered and tie up some loose ends. I hope he does it well, and I don't care what it takes. Yeah, it's going to be like the will of D, man. We're going to have to pass on, our will to our kids to, finish One Piece for us, because we're not going to be alive when it's over. Let's look at the comments before I start talking about it. First comment, I'm pretty sure he knew how he wanted it to end before he even started writing it. This makes me confident whatever ending he went on this journey to bring to life must be good. Yes, so the one thing that brings me solace is the fact that Oda knows how he wants to end it. I think Oda said many years ago that he already knows what the final chapter will be like. He says he knows what the final panel is going to be like. He knows so many things about the ending. He actually even gave it to, I think, his second in command, so that if Oda were to pass away, like maybe he steps outside, lightning, it hits him, a train hits him, maybe he steps on a cockroach and the whole army attacks him, that the story will live on if something unfortunate happens to Oda. He's planned ahead. He knows the fan base. He doesn't want to leave that behind. He knows all about characters dying, so... You know, Oda knows how to plan it out and make sure the story goes on, even if something bad were to happen. All right, so it's been a really long time since, here, let's start back on the camera. It's been a really long time since I've read about what Oda said the last chapter was going to be like, but I do remember one thing that really stuck out to me was he said that the final panel of the manga, I'm going to have to fact check this, maybe you guys could, but the final panel of the manga is going to be a pirate with an eye patch. At first, I was like, yo, that's not Luffy. I cannot imagine Luffy wearing an eye patch. There's just no freaking way. That's too, pirate-like. That's too, rustic in a way. It's not Luffy's style. Even if he were, an old man at the end of One Piece, I just can't see him with an eye patch. And then the only person in the entirety of One Piece so far that I can see wearing an eye patch in the final panel is Zoro. I am going to take a guess. I'm going to say Luffy will die by the end of the series, and then Zoro will become like Rayleigh to, Roger's right-hand man. That's essentially how it's going to go, in my opinion. Luffy's going to die, and then Zoro and some of the crew members are going to stay alive and pass on Luffy's memory. That's just how it is. What does this one say? I just hope Nami gets rich. Chopper cures the world. Sanji gets to cook using ingredients from the All Blue. Zoro becomes the greatest swordsman. Robin unleashes the history of the world. Frankie's ship gets recognized as the one that sailed to Raft Tail. And Brook reunites with Laboon. Laboon is the easiest one, bro. Laboon is the easiest freaking one. He just has to go backwards and he finds him. I like how he didn't include Usopp. Like, he didn't say, ooh, I hope Usopp becomes a great pirate. It just skips over him. But yeah, I can see all this happening. These have to be resolved by the end of the story. There's no way a single Straw Hat will go throughout the entire series and not have their dream fulfilled. That would be a shame if Luffy didn't become king of the pirates, if Chopper doesn't find a cure for every disease in the world. And Nami, she didn't want to get rich. I think the first one's kind of not a good example. Nami actually wants to chart out the entire ocean. They haven't touched on that in a long time. But yeah, she wants to get rich too, but that's a side mission for her. I don't think Oda will tie up absolutely every loose end, unfortunately, but I have faith the ending will be great regardless. I think the opposite. Oda is so freaking meticulous. He literally wanted... Okay, let's start back on the camera again. He wanted Wano to end last year. We're in the year 2020. We are going past his marks because he's so detailed, because he wants to tie up every loose end. For better or worse, this is what we're left with. We are going to finish off One Piece, and I feel like everybody, as long as Oda doesn't die, everybody will have a conclusive story, in my opinion. So yeah, that's my thought on that one. Curious, I think all will come together in an amazing climax, like One Piece, the Void Century, Poneglyphs, the Dawn of the World, ancient weapons, okay, maybe he can't tie it all up. There's so much to cover. And Emu, and the true nature of the world government. Everything relevant to the plot is most likely all tied together one way or another. Unless I'm forgetting about something, or misunderstanding your comment, I don't think it will be any loose ends. Yeah, no, I was just joking a second ago. I do think he will wrap it all up. And One Piece, Void Century, Poneglyphs, Dawn of the World, literally all this has to do with Laugh Tale. It all has to do with Joy Boy. The one thing that connects us together is Joy Boy and the world government. So overall, it shouldn't be too hard to wrap all together, especially since he's been planting a bunch of things beforehand. Like he planted the Poneglyphs, he planted Skypiea, Lunarians, all of that stuff. It should not be too hard to just put something there and then it works out for everything, especially considering Oda had like 20 plus freaking years to get this story down. I guarantee you the man has an ending in mind that works out well. All right, so to just touch on the subject of One Piece's end and why I think Luffy will die, because this whole subject here is more of, can Oda do it or can he not do it? In my opinion, I just want to throw it out there. I really do think Luffy will not survive until the final chapter. I feel like it's going to be a Roger scenario. Luffy will have maybe not an incurable disease, because that would be horrible for Chopper. Imagine you go on the voyage with the Pirate King, and then at the very end of the adventure, you cannot cure his disease. Chopper would live the rest of his life in shame. It would just be really heartbreaking. So Luffy, I think, has to die of natural causes. I feel like he will die due to his Devil Fruit. It was mentioned back in Nini's lobby when he was fighting Rob Lucci, where he was using Gear Second, and he said, hey, you're exchanging your lifespan for this Gear Second transformation. You're literally burning yourself to death for Gear Second. He mentioned it there. We went to Impel Down. Ivankov stabbed him, and he shaved off years of his life to save him from the poison. And then he did it again at Marineford, just so Luffy could have adrenaline to save Ace. Luffy has been foreshadowed to die for so long now. It's not even funny. So I'm probably even forgetting another scenario where he's lost life years. He's just lost life altogether. So by the end of the series, I think Oda has been foreshadowing this, and I think Luffy will die of natural causes or just his Devil Fruit in general. He will not survive it. And in my opinion, there's no better way to end a series like One Piece than to have the main character pass on the torch. I don't think Luffy should have a kid. I feel like he might have a kid eventually, but it's not like a main focus. And if there is a sequel, I hope it's not about his kid, but he will pass down the torch, and people will look at Luffy as the pirates looked at, towards Roger. Luffy will become that figure. He's made an impact on so many different islands, so many different people, that if there was a One Piece sequel, you know how cool it would be to see characters from this series and like, oh, there was a pirate just like you in our day, and then they're thinking about Luffy, they're describing Luffy. That would be freaking awesome. And that's the whole point of Roger's legacy and the legacy that Luffy is leaving behind without even knowing it. As far as all the other Straw Hats go, I honestly think they're all going to survive. I can't see Sanji, Zoro, or Chopper, Nami. I can't see any of them really dying. Maybe Robin after, she discovers the Poneglyphs and all that stuff. But everybody from the Straw Hat crew, I think they're pretty solid in surviving. Unless the world government goes on this crazy hunt saying, okay, the Pirate King Luffy's dead, time to hunt down the crew, just like how they did to Roger. But even then, I feel like the Straw Hats are too strong. They're not going to fall for it. Just like how Roger's crew got out of all of it too, except for Shiki. It's not going to be possible to take these guys down. All right. Next up, a big part of Attack on Titan's problem was the rush to finish chapter 139. One of the problems with One Piece is just the opposite. Sometimes the pace is too slow, so I wouldn't worry too much. Yeah, that's exactly what I said. I was like, yo, Oda, he literally went on record and said, I wanted Wano to be over. I thought we would be on the next island by now. When he said that, like, my jaw dropped, because he said this in December. He said this when we were fighting Queen. Like, dude, really? Like, that's how far ahead you thought you were going to be? Now I'm kind of curious to see how the Shanks movie is going to become, because the Shanks movie comes out later this year. And it's like, boy, I'm assuming he's expecting to be out of Wano and to somehow tie the story in with the Shanks movie. So he has a deadline. He has to hit that deadline. So while there is no break next week, I assume we're not going to see a break a good chunk of this year, to be honest. I feel like he's rushing. He might even release bigger chapters just because of this deadline now. Luffy to Akainu. You killed my brother, but you did it all for justice. What a man you are. The end. Luffy about to finish Akainu. Do it. Avenge your brother. No, this isn't what Ace would have wanted. Honestly, I cannot see Luffy killing Akainu. There's no way. No matter how much of a grudge Luffy has against him, I promise you, I will bet money on this, that Luffy will not kill him. Luffy will beat him. Luffy will beat him badly, but Luffy will not kill this man. Luffy has not killed anybody, and even then, he just wants to beat the hell out of people. He even says that. Like, same with Doflamingo. He's like, yo, like, I just want to kick your ass, and then it's over. We're chill. That's why I think like the ZKK theories are kind of nuts. Like people are like, oh, Zoro's gonna kill Kaido, and it's like, why? Like I understand Kaido's a really bad guy, but like you think they're just gonna go around killing people like nobody's business? No way. If Luffy was like a killer, all these criminals in Impel Down, like half of them wouldn't even be there. Luffy would have destroyed Crocodile. He would have destroyed all of Baroque's work. Like Buggy would have been dead. Like if Luffy was a killer, this story would be very different. If Luffy was a killer, we honestly probably wouldn't even get out of Impel Down because all of his potential allies would just be in the ground, like 10 feet underwater. All right, so I don't want to go through all the comments because they're really just comparing Attack on Titan and One Piece and how Attack on Titan's ending was either good nor bad. But yeah, in general, I think the ending of One Piece will be a-okay. Oda will wrap it up neatly because it's all connected. It's all interwoven already. He just has to slap that missing puzzle piece and it's pretty much solid. The real question does boil down to, do you think Luffy will survive the end of story, or do you think he will pass on the torch to the next generation? That is the main question I'm gonna leave you guys with today. And also the secondary question is, do you think all these Straw Hats will survive? And if Luffy does die, will it be because of his gear overusage, or will he have some kind of incurable disease just like Roger did? I feel like if Luffy does have that incurable disease, it would be really great for Chopper to say, hey, I cured the disease that killed the previous King of Pirates. That'd be pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. And that would be a nice conclusion to Chopper's medicine saga as well. One thing that I think is pretty funny is that everybody's talking about Attack on Titan's ending and how bad it is, but at the same time, nobody's mentioning Bleach, another anime that was in the big three, a long-going Shonen Jump anime that ended, you know, generally horrible. I loved the final arc in the manga, but let me tell you, those last 10 chapters were awfully paced. The fight against Watch, this villain they've been building up for so long, ended in almost you could almost consider it a one-shot. And then you have the anime coming back, and they've announced that they're changing some things around in the arc because they know how bad that ending is. That says something. The authors, or not the authors, the people at Shonen Jump literally called Kubo up and said, hey, you only have X amount of chapters left to finish the series, and he just had to start scrambling. I'm afraid that's going to happen with One Piece. I don't think it will, because One Piece is so loved by the country of Japan. Like, they literally have statues of the whole Straw Hat crew around Japan. There's no way they're going to botch the ending or say, hey, we need you to cut this off. One Piece is like their trophy. One Piece is their trophy poster child. So I am not afraid that One Piece will be botched like Bleach. But if it does, hopefully the manga or the anime is there to fix it up as well. All right, and with that being said, those are my thoughts on if One Piece will end nicely or horribly. Like you've heard, I think it will end quite fine. The real question becomes, will I survive to see the ending? So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching and joining me on this quick little discussion video. Leave your thoughts and comments down below, and I'll see you for the next video where I'm probably going to talk about what I think the final arcs of One Piece will be. So stay in tune for that. See you later.